No, I just heard you weren't... Your mate said you weren't playing with computers so much. Into the new thing.
What new thing?
You know, you two. The whole Wicca thing.
They were talking about that?
Can we get back to business here? I've got a deal at stake.
What did they say?
Talking about, you know, it's a phase. You'll get over it.
What? Who said that? Was it Buffy? 'Cause you know what she means.
No, she was defending you. Because Xander said you were just being trendy.
Trendy?
I don't know what they were going on about. Person wants to be a witch, that's their business.
Hello and welcome to episode 74 of Revisiting Sunnydale with Camila and Marcella. I'm Camila.
I'm Marcella.
Hi.
Hello.
It's that time again to talk Buffy. Are you excited? Are you stoked? Are you happy?
I'm pretty happy because I like this episode.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a spike.
It's a spike.
It's a spike doing spike things.
Yes.
There's some singing by the Ripper.
Yeah, it's a good episode. So there's Spike in different costumes. Spike is sabotaging. He's
mind game.
Yes, he's doing his thing. Hey, have you liked our Facebook page, Revisiting Sunnydale? If you haven't, you should. And communicate with us.
Yes.
There. And also on Twitter at Back to Sunnydale. And you can also rate and review and subscribe to us on iTunes or Libsyn or Player FM. And that way you'll be in the loop all the time.
We have to find a way to get on Alexa somehow.
I did try. No, that's not that. I found out why we couldn't get on Spotify is because you can't have any sort of music that's not your own. So like our first episode, we had a lot of episodes with bits and pieces of non-sanctioned music. But I'm still trying to figure out Google Play, like how to get on there.
I just want to say, Alexa, play Revisiting Sunnydale. And it happened. That'd be great. It'd be so great. Now playing.
So per the suggestion of our dear listener, Dory, we're going to sprinkle in some new segments here and there. And this week we're going to start off with Where Are They Now? Trying to figure out where some of our old cast members are, what they're up to these days.
Yep.
So Marcella.
Blech. I decided, since this is also a Riley heavy episode where he gets his world shook, that we take a little glimpse into Mr. Blucas.
Mr. Blucas, Marcus Blucas.
Yeah. So what has he been up to, our dearly despised Riley, is that he is, since being on Buffy, he has a vast career. He's done some Law and Order, but who hasn't? He's been
I've been on a Law and Order, not really.
He has literally been on tons and tons of things.
Yes, most recently,
yes,
he was on a show called Underground on WGN, which I loved the show.
And I did not watch.
They canceled. It's about slavery, but it's not just about slavery. It's about the slaves are revolting, and that's what I loved about it.
And did he played a character named John Hawkes? Was he?
He was
was he bad?
No, he was not.
Good.
He was helping.
I don't have to hate him for saying the end.
No, exactly. No, he doesn't. He never says it.
Okay, good.
And but Chris Milani, that was a he was a bad one. But Mark Blucas's character, he would help the slaves, him and his wife, to escape to freedom. So that was his. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
That was his role. And he was not. He was good in this role, and it was a great show. But unfortunately, after 2 seasons, it was canceled.
Yeah.
So
because it was on WGN. Ooh.
Not many people are watching WGN just for shits and giggles.
You have to have cable because it's not available over the air, and
so fucking weird because it seems like a show, like an antenna channel.
It does because it's a Chicago native, I believe, network. Why do I get it on my cable? It's not like I'm picking up some Des Moines channel.
Exactly.
I don't understand at all how it became what it became.
I don't know. And then oddly enough, I think the only reason I even started watching that channel because of the show Outsiders that was filmed here was on there, and then I started seeing the promos for Underground, and I was super into that.
I initially started because of Salem with Shane West.
Okay, yes.
And I was like, he's got long hair looking all good.
Is that a good show?
No, I don't know. I never finished it. Why? Because I got rid of cable and forgot it was on fucking WGN.
I think it's on Netflix.
I think it is too.
Because I know I put it in a queue or somewhere.
And I never watched Outsiders. I never got around to it.
Well, basically, don't start and don't start with Outsider. Don't start with Underground. If you are get pissed off about things not being resolved,
I do.
When a show cancels, don't start.
Okay.
Because I'm still
Good
living
to
in
know.
my feelings.
Yeah, good to know. Because
So the rest of Mark's life,
the rest of Mark's life, he is from Butler, PA.
basically here, in Pittsburgh.
Basically here. He's from Pittsburgh.
So if anybody's got any connection to him, even though we hate a character of Riley, we would love to have Marcus on the show.
Yes, we would. Because he has had such a vast, varied career. He's played characters from, the good boy to the bad guy. And as we said on our last episode, we're going to get very drunk and watch First Daughter, where he plays a college student that meets the first daughter, and it turns out he's not exactly who he said he was.
So yeah, look out for that after we wrap season 4.
And see, my description there made it sound way more interesting than it really is, because it's actually a rom-com. I kind of made it sound like there was something nefarious going on. There's not.
What did you?
I got to clear this up. There's what
I
I
did was like a Lifetime movie.
Yes.
Like, I would be like, oh,
I'd watch that.
yeah. Totally.
No, sorry, I misrepresented what happens there. It's much worse than that.
Okay.
And then the last little bit I'm going to leave you with is I always like to look up people on IMDb. And the trivia for Mark, his very first line of trivia says he was born on the same day as Amanda Peet.
That's his first line of trivia.
Yeah. Most people are immediately going to say, who the fuck is Amanda Peet? Why do I care about her? I don't give a shit he was born on the same day as her. Well, who cares?
It's not like she's fucking Albert Einstein.
Right. It's Amanda Peet. Way to go.
Does her say that she was born on the same
I
day
hope
as
so.
Marcus Lucas?
At least if I am ever on there, at least mine will say I was born on the same day as Kanye West.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
Oh. And I just realized I was accidentally calling him Marcus because I always want to do that because his last name is Blucas.
Marcus Blucas.
Mark Blucas.
Mark Blucas.
Marky Mark. And his
Blucas.
Funky Bunch.
Plus, he played basketball before he acted. He was actually really good at it. But I'm assuming, as we were talking about the Netflix original movie Amateur this morning, when he was in Eddie with Whoopi Goldberg, long time ago.
Wow.
I'm assuming,
yeah.
I am. See, I told you guys, it's 6 degrees
deep.
of 6 degrees of Buffy. I got you. I'm assuming he was no longer playing. Because we talked about the whole pay to play, and he was playing a basketball player. So I'm thinking he was well beyond his college career at that point. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he is a very good basketball player. And so the show went until 2002. I think he left in 2000 or 2001. In 2001, he starred in a little movie called Summer Catch with Freddie Prinze Jr. and damn it, Matthew Lillard. You guys don't know, but we have been having random trivia with Matthew Lillard all day. He keeps coming up all day.
So again, if anybody knows Matthew Lillard, I would love to have him on the show too.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah. He'd be a great guy. I would love to talk to him.
I would love to kick it with Matthew Lillard.
But there's also an even further Buffy little line through in that movie, in that Christian Kane is one of the baseball players.
Oh, yeah.
In that movie from Angel.
Oh, man, Mark, for someone who does, for one of those guys that's just like, oh, yeah, it's that guy from Buffy, he has been working a lot.
He has been working a lot. He was also on a USA show about sports agents a while back. I forget what it was called.
Was he?
Yeah. Very good show. People liked it a lot, and they were very upset when it got canceled, as most people are with USA shows.
Yeah. He was on an episode of House, Lie to Me, Castle, Law and Order LA. Not the real Law and Order.
Oh, not the real.
Oh, the TV show was Necessary Roughness?
Yes, that one.
Okay. Also on a TV show called Killer Women in 2014.
Yeah.
An episode of Stalker, CSI, Limitless.
Stalkers, yes.
Oh, God.
That's one show.
I would watch that
I would watch that show for sure.
And he's got some stuff coming out. Like he was after Underground, he's got a movie called Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Sure he does.
There's a TV movie called Miss Christmas, a movie called Looking Glass, and there's some.
Did you look at the picture for Miss Christmas? Is that the one, or is it the gingerbread? He's done. It looks like a Hallmark movie with Sammy Brady.
It's just a wreath, and like.
There's one where I forget which one it is.
Dorsey. This movie looks like trash.
Most of his movies look like trash. Oh, The Irresistible Blueberry Farm. It's a couple down from the Miss Christmas.
I refuse.
Oh, I'm going to show it to you. Because it gives me nightmares.
Who is watching this shit?
Why?
Mark.
Who gave you a script that said The Irresistible Blueberry Farm?
You read it?
And you read it. Not to mention you got yourself hired, but you read that shit.
And then commits to audition for it.
You opened it up and thought, okay, I could do this.
It's awesome, but irresistible. If my agent were to give me a script that said The Irresistible Blueberry Farm, I'm like, you're fired.
You're fired.
I need better representation, clearly. Or, because it's not like, it didn't look like at that point in time Mark was hurting.
Right.
Like, unless he's got some mad bills that we don't know about. Was he going through a divorce or something?
Right. Operation Christmas?
Stop it.
With Trisha Helfer,
Stop
who was
it.
the star of Killer Women, so I'm thinking that's how this came about.
I was probably attached to it. Like, hey, if you want to be on this show called Killer Women, you both are going to have to do this fucking movie.
But I don't want to.
Hey, I don't make the rules. But yes, you do.
Yes, you do. He was in Sleeping with Other People, which was actually a pretty decent flick with Alison Brie and Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, really?
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think it's on Netflix. Or
Oh, yeah. I
Amazon.
keep seeing that pop up.
I enjoyed it.
A comedy drama romance.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's one of those you pretty much know what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's just like a
From the
Sunday
yeah.
afternoon. You know, you can do some other stuff while you watch it kind of thing.
Yeah. Now, he does say, the quote in IMDb, he says, on being a part of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it was a thrill to have been a part of that show and one of those things that will always be a feather in my cap because it was so well respected. I was blessed to be on it.
Yeah, you were.
You know where your money comes
Exactly.
from.
Keep
Now,
it real.
Could you come to a con or two? Like, just...
Well, it looks like recently he was in Wales.
Okay.
With Claire
I'm not
Kramer.
going that
I know.
far.
Claire Kramer and Anthony Stewart Head. So I saw that on her Instagram. She had a picture.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
No, I know,
got 2
right?
out of 3.
That would have been a good. Yeah. But yeah, Mark. Damn it. It's like that's why I can't. That's why I'm not coming to any Pittsburgh cons because y'all motherfuckers can't say my name.
Marcus.
Mark, come home.
Come home.
So, like, there's just certain few of you actors who I know damn well you're from here and could very well benefit from coming to a con back home. Mark Blucas, Julie Benz, Goldblum, Jeff Goldblum, John Bernthal, Joe Manganiello. I'm just saying.
There are a few. But it's probably best if I don't. And he's probably one of them.
Really?
Because I can't imagine how tall
He's
he
so
is.
tall.
And just big. And that's what I wanted from Jason Momoa. That's all I wanted.
And what's really fucked up is that Joe has a brother who's, he's not as good. He's good looking. He's taller than Joe.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So.
And Joe still has that Pittsburgh in him. So you're just like.
Yeah. So, yeah, one of my better memories of working with Joe was he directed some movie, a documentary about male strippers. I forget, Under the Bar or something. Bar, I don't know. Something bar. And I helped him organize the screening at the Hollywood Theater, and this was all through his brother mostly. And then Joe came to the screening, and I'm talking to him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I hope you really like." I was like, "Congratulations on this, blah blah blah. I hope you really." He's like, "I hope you really like it." I was like, "Yeah, I hope I do too."
Because I like you, and if this is bad, we're gonna break up. We're gonna break up.
So suffice it to say, it was an awkward after party with.
Was it not?
As I kept
Did
dodging.
you like it?
No. Oh my God! Look at your suit. It's so nice.
It fits you so well.
But what'd you think of the movie? Are they serving cheese and crackers over there?
Yes, Dan.
Hello. Hi. Ooh. So yeah.
And that's why you have a husband. So
Yeah, exactly.
To get you out of those situations.
Exactly. So it's no longer a question of like I could possibly sleep with this man. No. No.
Your art, sir. Leaves a lot to be desired.
Oh, God. But seriously, though, I don't think I could, after, this was all before Magic Mike 2.
I was going to say, did he redeem himself a little with the Backstreet Boys in the convenience store scene?
Oh, yeah, totally.
That...
Yeah. That and his routine to Closer in Magic.
Yeah.
Like, so I haven't seen or spoken to him since that because I don't think I could look him in the eye after that.
We can't. Well, I don't know. You've seen Rampage now. So you've got that to
There might be a nice
level
balance.
yeah. You were here. But you had this, you were rocking the scar.
I know.
You looked delicious.
You had a great entrance.
There was some thirst going on.
Yes, there was.
Till you opened your mouth.
And then it's like, oh, okay. That's fine. It's all right. Mark Blucas, that's where he is now.
Yep, that's Mark Blucas. That's what he's up to.
Let us know who you want us to talk about next. You can,
For a split second, that's his wife, but all it said was spouse Ryan Hayden. I was like, how did I miss that?
He's married to a woman named
yes,
Ryan.
her name is Ryan, which is
Okay.
kind of neat.
Does she is she in the business? Does
She
it say? She looks like she's a
is-
producer or something.
Yeah,
Is
camera
she
and
a Hallmark producer?
Well, it
is
says-
that why she's
yeah,
all
right,
wrapped
that's
up
right.
in
Yes, it says camera and electrical department, producer, miscellaneous crew.
Okay,
That's what she does.
so she was working on the Impossible Blueberry Story or whatever the fuck that was.
Probably.
And she was like, "Hey, you want a vacation to wherever?
No,
You want to get paid to go to Vermont?"
maybe. No. Assistant camera. She's only done like 4 things.
Oh,
She was herself on something called Hollywood Heat.
sure.
She was a production assistant on The Cost of Construction. She was assistant camera on New York's Funniest.
So basically, they're just living kind of a normal, elevated life.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They're blessed.
Yes, they are. They're well off.
But he could do some cons and be more blessed.
Yes, he could.
Because
Maybe-
people would want to meet him. Even though he's hated, he's also
No.
loved.
He is. Like,
By-
it's like, I think it's probably 50-50.
A niche market.
Yes, there's the same amount of people that hate Riley. There's those people that love Riley.
Yeah.
And there's those of us who, we can distinguish the character from the actor.
Right. I'm fine with those arms. Those are good arms to have, as Buffy
And
says.
he does have nice twinkly eyes. I
He
do like
does.
his eyes.
And he's a
He has a good
doof.
smile.
He's a doof.
So now let's get into the Yoko Factor.
Get into Yoko Factor. We start with our government.
Season 4, episode 20. The original air date was May 9th, 2000. Written by Douglas Petrie, directed by David Grossman. After joining forces with Adam, Spike drives a wedge between Buffy and her friends. Meanwhile, Angel's return to Sunnydale leads to a violent confrontation with Riley. Refresh my memory. Which crossover was this after on Angel?
This was after Faith, I think. So this was after Faith left
Okay.
Sunnydale
And Buffy-
went to Los Angeles.
And Buffy went to Los Angeles to
Buffy
deal with
went
Faith.
went to deal with Faith because she kidnapped Wesley.
Right.
Tortured Wesley.
Good episode.
Great episode. And then in the police station, it's in the police station when so the Watchers Council comes and tries to kill Faith, and there's a big, huge, epic battle with the two of them on the roof because they're fighting because she doesn't want to let Faith get away, but Faith's not trying to get away.
Right.
And then Faith gets away, and she thinks that Faith has gotten away. But no, she's sitting in the police department. She has turned herself in. And still Buffy loses her shit on Angel. And he basically is like, look, you bratty little child.
He puts her in her place necessarily.
Harshly, too.
Yeah. He's like, something about you can't come to my city. And
Yes. Throw your perfect life. Because she's like, I have a boyfriend now, and my life is great.
Which
and
I don't remember why we did that.
I don't know.
It was just another one of those. And yeah, so I don't care what you're doing. I have a boyfriend.
he hit her.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he was like, you hit me first. Because she
looked
did.
She did. And she looked like she wanted to die after
She
he
did.
did.
Yeah. It was like he open-handed slapped her.
Yeah.
That's what it and yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's like, you cannot come to my town, throw your perfect life in my face, Go home.
So he kicked her out of LA.
And she's just like, and I think she backs out of the room with her mouth, like, with her hand on her chest, like.
She got her feelings hurt bad.
She did.
So.
Which I don't know why she's throwing it in his face anyway, because you and Riley are not in the best place right now. He is living in the high school in the same funky ass clothes he had. It's up to Xander to bring him some clothes.
And where in the fuck did he get those clothes?
Clown shoes? The thrift store? His closet, unfortunately. Which there's about 3-inch difference between you. Mm-hmm. These clothes aren't going to fit.
Those
him.
aren't yours.
No.
Those can't be.
No.
Well, yeah, Riley has about 4 inches and probably 50 pounds on Xander.
Mm-hmm. Of muscle.
Muscles.
Just pure muscles.
The guest stars this episode are David Boreanaz as Angel, George Hertzberger as Adam, Amber Benson, Tara Bailey Chase, again with Graham, Leonard as Forrest, and Emma as Anna.
Forrest really, really bitches out in this one.
Hard. Like, hard. Dude,
hard.
Just say you want Riley and be done with it.
Him. Just tell him you love him.
That's what this boils down to, clearly.
Yes.
You are in love with Riley. You are jealous of his relationship with Buffy and their big head on that skinny little body.
He's such an asshole in this episode.
So yeah, we start with the government. They're having meetings.
This guy is like, this shit's fucked up. I don't want to be here. What do you want me to do? And basically everybody's like, I don't know nothing about this.
This is, we're not privy to what's going on and whatever this thing is that you guys have been doing here. We are not a part of it. The dude is like trying to get...
He's salty about how much they like Riley.
Yeah.
He's like, the boy thinks too much.
Yes. I'm like, he's like, he was never the soldier you all think he was. Mm-hmm. He thinks too much. What do you...
This isn't...
I think that was more of an insult on your whole structure as an army, as armed services, and and yourself as it was for Riley.
Yeah.
The boy thinks too much. And, they refer to Buffy as just a girl.
Yeah.
Which I guess clearly...
Well, they're not worried about Riley at all because they know he won't go very far from her.
Okay. And I forget. At this point, do they know she's the Slayer?
Yes, because he says our data banks don't have much on her.
Which, you guys are in the demon hunting game.
You might want to find out. Because even when she met Maggie, she was like, Slayer, like, fucking look it up. How do you not know how do you know what demons are and you don't know what a Slayer is?
Right. It doesn't make any sense.
Everyone's talking about Buffy and what impact Buffy can have, and cue up Adam and Spike. And Spike's just like, you don't get it. I have had some truly great plans.
All right. I have killed 2, not 1, but 2 Slayers in my lifetime.
And this one is a pain in my ass.
I've had some epic plans that have been foiled each and every time.
And Adam is still just like, oh, I got something for her. It's all right.
I got it.
And he's telling him he's got this whole plan that's going to go down at the initiative, and he wants Buffy right in the middle of it.
Yes.
But he wants her alone.
By herself, because they've determined that her friends are her strength.
They sure to fuck are.
Yeah. They are. And yeah, we'll get there.
From day one, they have been her center. Other Slayers have had to do it alone. That's not how it was going to be with Buffy from day one.
Right.
To the point that in season 2, we find out that there's a handbook, apparently, that Giles just decided did not apply. It was not going to...
She wasn't going to read it. Well...
She might have wanted to.
I mean, you could have let her know it existed.
Right.
Maybe even just kind of sprinkle some random stuff in here, here and
How
there.
many times do you think Willow asked to have it so she could just, please? Please? Please?
I feel like we could all benefit from this.
Mm-hmm. So Spike is only doing this because Adam is bribing him, basically, saying that he will remove the behavior modification chip if he helps him. Sure, because that's how monsters work.
Mm-hmm. So, and is it this point where the burn comes in? Is it this
The Tony Ray? I think.
So, Adam is basically he's giving like a very powerful motivational speech to Spike, and Spike is like taken aback. He got chills. He's caught the vapors, and he's like, "Wow, I can see how all the demons fall in line with you." And this is the burn of the week. Is like, you're like Tony Robbins. If he were a big, scary Frankenstein, you're exactly like Tony Robbins. So for those of you who don't know who Tony Robbins is, he is a motivational speaker who is probably about 7'8".
Yes,
he's
huge.
He looks like, and his mouth is just as
Whatever
big.
you say, sir. Whatever you say.
He is casting a spell on you with his eyes. He does look like a very big, scary Frankenstein looking thing.
And if you ever listen to anything he says, you're immediately you're like, I can do this.
I sure can fly.
I sure can.
If Tony says I can, I can. So yes, that is. I guess I had two. That's one of the burns. I couldn't choose.
Oh, the other one's great too.
Yeah.
So he's talking about, Spike's all, he's like, yeah, you're going to, because Adam is like, I will make you whole again. I will make you savage. And Spike is just like,
Bet.
done. And he's like, oh, but the Slayer. And he actually says she's crafty. Like, he's throwing out little compliments, like.
Right. So, and like, she may be a pain in his ass, but he does respect her game.
He knows that she is the best he's come up against. Right. And so he's like, yes, but I want her separated from her friends. And
he's like, well, Spike's like, well, dude, let me take care of that. And Adam's like, well, how? You can't kill anybody.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
I'm not going to do a bloody thing. And at that point, I was like, oh, shit. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Well, interested. Tell me more, Spike.
Let me put my feet up. Let me get a blanket and a cup of coffee. I'm ready. What do you got for me? So Buffy comes home all weepy. I just had this fight with Angel, and her hair still looks great. Really, her hair looks great in these episodes. It looks so soft and bouncy and just good product going on. She has a suede jacket on, though, I believe.
And a big old turtleneck sweater, yeah?
That she wore to Los Angeles, where I don't think it drops below 50, maybe ever.
Doubtful.
And she came from Sunnydale, which I could say maybe the nights maybe get you. No, they probably don't. No. So then she's just laying in her bed all woe is me because she had a bad travel time. And how did she get there?
That's what I've always wondered.
There's no Uber or Lyft. Like, and this woman cannot drive.
No. She has no license.
No license because she can't drive.
Right.
We've seen what happens when she gets behind the wheel, and it's not good.
So is it bus? Is it train? Did she take a cab from the bus station? Because it's like nobody knows. Like none of her friends knows she's back. It's just
Cordelia's not around giving her lifts.
No, and Joyce doesn't know what's going on. I'm sure.
Where has she been? Ever since Faith, we have not seen her since. Check on your mom. You said check on your mom.
Adam is out there. And there's always a threat.
Yes.
It's just call her.
Sunday dinners or something.
I know.
You had mail piled up.
Right. And at this point, her mom knows everything that's happening. How about we just have like a nice 6 p.m. check-in every day? How about that? Like, hey, mom, just call and make sure everything's all right.
Making sure you're alive.
Bet. All right.
I'm good.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Instead, no one checks on Joyce. No. And we're stuck with Xander in his clothing delivery.
So Xander, his punk ass.
What a little bitch.
He comes and brings Riley some clothes, blah, 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 so he can go wash Riley's old clothes, yada, yada. They start chit-chatting about Buffy going to L.A. to go see Angel, yada, yada, yada. So, when we're at this point, Riley seems okay about the whole thing. He's not too bothered. He's got other things on his mind. He still has got this whole deserter treason thing going on.
Because he said something about like, oh yeah, Angel, he knows a teeny. She left out some things.
Yeah,
she told him some things, but she left out the major, which we found out when she had to tell him the story of Faith.
But Riley is still aware that Angel is an ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
Very much aware of this. So they're talking, and then Xander, he says...
You're not an Angel fan either.
Yeah, and he's like, no. But then he's like, well, what did Buffy tell you? Should have stopped right there.
Should have shut your fucking mouth.
Right.
Not your business to tell.
Exactly. What did Buffy tell you?
And then, let me tiptoe around some things some more.
So Riley he says some stuff like, love of her life, I think is what he says. So he alludes to that fact, but he still doesn't say anything about vampire and him with the cursed soul.
No, well, she says. So he said, Xander's like, well, what did she tell you? And he says everything, more than I wanted to know sometimes. She loved him. He turned evil. He killed people.
Okay. So that's a really good portion
She
of what
cured
happened.
him.
Okay, so the only thing that...
And it's Xander that opens his mouth. Interesting little curse.
Right. So that's the only thing that she didn't tell him, that
Right.
that sex with Buffy is his
Trigger.
right.
Mm-hmm. And then here's old Xander filling in that's his trigger,
Just tell
one
him.
moment of pure happiness. And you know what makes him the most happy?
And Riley's like...
Riley's stomach fell out of his butt.
Buffy. And then Xander pauses the end. Sex with Buffy. And still Xander hasn't put two and two together that Buffy hasn't told him exactly. So Xander's out here telling business that's not his own.
Talking out of school. In the school.
In the school, out of school. Talking out of school, in the school.
Yep. I fucked up.
Yeah. But I'm not sure I understand why this piece of information sets Riley off. Because, okay, so sex with Buffy is his trigger. Mm-hmm. He still has to have sex with Buffy.
Right. Right. And why in a couple minutes is he just like, oh, you evil again? So basically you're slut-shaming your girlfriend.
Right. You're just assuming she went off and gave him a happy.
Uh-huh.
Like, what the fuck?
Your relationship is...
It doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
and Xander's just like, you'll feel better when you see her. I'm sure it's totally fine.
How about you just leave?
I gotta go. I'm gonna
go now before you
leave you with the mare meat and
pound my head in.
All I would have needed when Xander first walked in was like, good God, this smells like mare meat.
Yeah, and we can move on.
We can move on.
Or even Riley would be like, yeah, everything's fine down here except for the smell. Sure.
Yeah. But instead we move on to the dulcet tones of Anthony Stewart Head.
He's chilling in his apartment as a grown man does.
It's so
he figured out, in this time of peril, it's time
to sing a little tune.
All right, I'll pull out my acoustic. I got it. Maybe he had a gig coming up at the coffee house at the
He's
espresso
practicing.
pump over the weekend.
It's so pretty.
Yeah,
I want a full version of this.
Yeah, and was he singing
Behind Blue Eyes?
He's singing a little hard out. And then one of the more funny is like...
I don't know what's funnier.
His reaction.
The whole thing going on or the whoop.
I rewind that every time I watch it because it's
so funny.
It's like some of my favorite physical comedy on this show.
And that's where our second burn.
So Giles is startled by him looking up and seeing Spike out of nowhere, just standing there. And Spike's like...
Oh, no, it's Freebird, not Behind Blue Eyes. It's Freebird.
Right. Okay. Spike's like, for someone who's got Watcher on his resume, you might want to cast an eye to the front door every now and again. True statement.
True statement.
That is
what you're a watcher.
Yeah. Your door is never locked. You're never paying attention to what's going on in your own home. What the fuck?
Why is your door always unlocked?
Why is it always unlocked?
I don't get it.
So Giles starts talking or Spike starts talking to Giles about looking for the lady of the house, and he's got a deal for Buffy because he's got some information. He wants some cash. Giles is like, bet, tell me what you got. And Spike's like, I'm going to trust you. You don't have the authority. You don't have the right. You can't promise me anything. And Giles is like, yo, I'm her watcher. And Spike is like,
former.
I think what you're missing is former. I've seen how she treats you. She treats you very much like a retired librarian.
Ouch.
And he also throws in, she never really listened to you when you actually were her watcher. Ooh.
Truth. None of these things are incorrect.
No lies detected.
No. None.
So this is
And why are you keeping that blood bag in your fridge?
Why didn't he throw it out so long ago?
I don't understand.
It's been
Spike is right. He's like, I knew I left one here. Why is it still... So are you just hoping he'll come room with you again? But it is Giles that's like, a cynical person would say, you're offering us just what we need just when we need it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But then that's as far as then he's just like, I'm sad.
And then he just gets like thrown off course, like, hey, I am offended.
Make myself a drink. We've not seen Ripper really
ripped.
Yes.
Ripped drunk.
And he went for it.
He did. So this is the bomb number 1 that Spike plants.
Yep.
And it just gets worse from here, or better, depending on how you look at it. So, so they come to the agreement that Giles will let Buffy know that Spike has a plan or some information and wants some money and needs the okay.
Yeah.
So we take it to Willow and Tara, who are squeeing over Miss Kitty
she's just so damn cute.
Fantastico, which as one does over new puppies and kittens and whatnot.
I hate cats,
But that cat is
but I will
adorable.
squeeze a kitten.
Oh my God, I love kittens. Kittens are so adorable. As soon as they get to a cat hood, I give no fucks. Like, get the fuck out of here.
None. I have a couple friends who have adorable cats, and I like to visit those cats, but I will never own a cat.
No.
They don't need me.
No.
They actually prefer if I'm not around. And
I like the unconditional love and the excitement that my dogs provide me when I come home.
the damn near psychotic attention that they, like, sometimes it's too much. You're too obsessed. I know you love me.
Every time I get on the phone, Albert's right on my lap. Oh, hey, we're talking on the phone. Let's.
Sugar smacked my phone out of my hand the other day. I'm sitting there I'm just checking email, and she came up under my hand, poked her head up through my hands, and then swatted the phone out of my hand.
Wow.
Like, excuse me. You're going to pay attention to me, not that phone. And I love it. I crave it. I need that attention.
Is it so much? Yes, I'm a little bit needy.
You know the show that I always wanted a spinoff of? You see Sunnydale RA. Because you know that is a put upon person. And not once did we get to see the Sunnydale RA.
This is true.
Would be phenomenal. Even a comic, just one comic of this RA would be great for me.
With like a box of random shit that's been confiscated.
Yeah. Spells.
Right.
Steaks.
Their fucking prescription. Just like them sitting and talking to their therapist.
Yeah. See, like, there was a cat. Miss Kitty Fantastico. Everyone loved it.
And I just gotta understand, I have allergies. Nobody cares about me.
I know. I smell the dander. I feel it. It's in my nose. Who has a cat? So then...
Oh, God. This is a huge difference from last episode's
Huge
Tara
difference.
to this Tara.
She's confident.
She's so
adorable.
Cool. Cracking little, like, funny jokes. Like, they're talking about picking Willow's schedule for next year. And then, like, the whole roommate situation comes up. The dorm.
Oh, I just assumed you'd be living with Buffy.
Basically what
Or
Tara
I'd
said.
be living with Buffy until we were little old ladies.
Well, yeah. And Tara was also like, I assumed that, your thing was settled. Tara likes a single. I mean, I'm not going.
Right.
I mean.
And honestly, Willow, did you really think you were going to be rooming with Buffy? Because she gives no thought to you at all.
Zero.
Like, zero.
Like, Buffy is not thinking about any of this at all. Nope.
Who knows if she'll even be in school next year?
Exactly. So I wouldn't. Willow should know better than to put any sort of plans upon like Buffy. It's just kind of live your own life, sweetie. Just don't
make plans with Buffy. And speaking of Buffy and her clown boyfriend, so Riley comes a knocking because apparently this is bothering him so much that it's worth risking getting caught to go talk to her.
So he shows up and he's all insecure and jealous, just out the gate, like just
Well,
his
and
whole
she
everything.
right away was like,
"What the fuck are you wearing?"
Circus?
And he makes some jokes at his own expense, but still he's not feeling it.
Yeah.
Because he's still feeling some kind of way about this whole angel thing that he learned.
And yet, he pulls out this walkie-talkie he's like jerry-rigged, so he knows if they're looking for him. And yet you tried to walk Oz out the front door. I'm confused by your skill set. Are you coverty and can hide from people? Or are you the worst strategist ever?
It's very difficult.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Get a good grasp of what his life is like, what he's doing. Well, he starts to like be real passive aggressive, and just saying like little stupid snide comments here and there about her and her trip. And
one thing we've learned over 4 seasons of Buffy at this point: don't fuck with her. If you have an issue with, bring it to her.
Yeah.
Don't tiptoe around it.
Your best bet, just come ask her straightforward. Did you have sex with Angel while you were gone?
Because she's gonna get pissed,
right?
And then she's gonna elevate it too far, and start calling out times you left a cap off the toothpaste. She's gonna call out all your shit,
and you're gonna leave feeling much worse than when you got there.
Yeah.
So this happens. They're going back and forth, and finally, she's like, he's got questions. He's a little concerned. She's like, well, you know what? Can we talk about this later? And he says that, it's the pants, isn't it?
Yeah, he has to recharge them every 2 hours.
So, yeah, I agree. I feel like it would be difficult to take you seriously in those pants at that moment. I can't have this conversation with you with these pants.
And he respectfully does actually leave.
Yeah. It's like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah. Points for you.
You get a half point.
And then here's clothing delivery man Xander again. Why is he just delivering clothes all day? Because now he's dropping off some clothes
To Spike.
It's
got a side business, apparently.
And here comes bomb number 2. And here comes one of Spike's credits shots when he's pointing the gun.
Yes.
And then he turns to he's pointing the gun at nothing.
Right.
And he looks badass. And he's like, I'm just going to turn around. I'm going to point it at Xander. And his head goes off. And Anya, ever the lovely woman.
Love it.
Oh, you can't even point a gun at people?
And then we find out that it's fake. And she's like, wow, you can't even point a toy gun at people?
He's just, shut up. But he starts to, here comes Spike and his slithery,
oh, you snake.
Snake-like ways.
You snake in the
And
grass.
he, mentions something about boot
Be all
camp
that you can be. Oh, yeah, boot camp. Yeah, that attitude's not going to fly at boot camp, mister.
with the tough as nails drill sergeants.
Yes.
And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to boot camp. Oh, decided not to enlist?
And Anya's like,
The fuck? And she actually hits him. And he's like, wait a minute. I am not joining the army. Oh, well, your friends were saying that. Here we go.
I was like, well, what would they say? So, well, talking about be all you can be. Oh, well, be all that you can be. Ouch. Spike, you have some very deep zingers here, sir.
And actually, Anya doesn't help matters. They don't respect you. Well, they hate you.
It's like, yeah, but
at least they respect me. Why is that an okay thing to say to your boyfriend? That is awful.
ouch.
So she's helping Spike lay this groundwork.
Basically.
And she's making it so much worse. Because he has insecurities built in about being the townie.
Right.
And not going to college. And
He tries to make himself feel better by saying, I'm the one out there working for a living. So what? I got fired at Starbucks and blah, blah, blah. College is just like high school, except you don't go to class or something.
yeah.
And, Spike's just very nonchalant about the whole thing. It's like, whatever. So now Xander's in his feelings.
Yeah.
He thinks that
He's in a tizzy. He's upset.
he thinks his friends don't think that he will amount to much.
That is the worst feeling in the world to think that your friends are talking shit on you behind your back. It's terrible.
Yeah. That's an ugly
terrible.
thing. Yeah. Especially when you think that you're as close as they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, but this isn't the worst of it.
No.
It gets
No,
worse.
it
It gets worse. So Buffy, I don't remember why. She's
patrolling out.
just patrolling because she has nothing that she
She
didn't
wanted to
get a
check
heads
out
up.
these caves.
Okay, so she
she
goes to
thought
these
Adam
caves.
might be in these caves.
Goes to these caves and runs up on Forrest.
And she's basically like, stand down.
She's
I'm
like-
going to go check this. Well,
Right.
so am I.
And I think he moves to like hit her or touch her or move her or something. She's like, yo, touch me and you'll find out what Slayer's strength is.
Which I love.
Yeah. And he's still
Like,
got a
touch
bug
her.
up his ass.
Touch her.
Do
Touch
it.
her.
Do it.
Come on.
And he's still got a bug up his ass. He's just basically, you blah, blah, blah. Riley was fine.
You're tearing my family apart.
And yes, basically he's all upset because he's jealous because Riley gets to love up on, or Buffy gets to love up on Riley and he can't
She
have
does,
him.
in his defense, have a big old head on a stick figure
She
body.
does. She does.
He was right about that.
Not wrong. So yeah, what Forrest says that he's mad about is that, she forced Riley to commit treason and ruined his career. Which
He's had girlfriends before. You think you're the first girl to...
Yeah.
No, I never said I was.
no.
But that's not why you're mad. That's not why you're mad.
Just say it,
Just say you
Forrest.
love him.
Say it, Forrest.
So then he does. He tries to make her leave the cave or something, or push past her or something, and that she's. I'll show you what Slayer's strength is really like, and
Right.
then we hear, yes, I'd like to see that.
Da da da. Adam shows up,
Yeah,
and I guess he was just lurking, hanging out. I don't know, having a cup of tea. But
I really want to know if he was just like,
So waiting.
Should I say something
Just
now?
waiting for the perfect moment to interject.
To jump in.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. That's where it is. Wait, I missed it. Can you go back and do it again? I was like biting my nail or something. So they're like both fighting Adam.
Forrest is a shit fighter.
Shit fighter. He should have ran.
Yeah. That's
Buffy actually said, "Get out of here."
exactly.
And he was like, "No, I can do this." Yeah, well, now you did.
He shoots him with the blaster, which electrocutes Adam and just fills him with all sorts of newfound power. And he's
feeds
like,
him.
"Thank you."
Yeah.
Forrest charges on
It's a
him.
little gross, actually. It was like,
I know, it was a little bit like, ugh.
do you need a moment alone with the blaster?
Like, like Forrest and Buffy should be like, I'm just gonna go and
Take a
let you have
moment.
this.
Yeah.
And then Forrest charges at him, and Adam skewers him.
You don't charge a man with a skewer that
Like,
comes out of his arm.
it was like kind of also apparent that he let it out, and then Forrest
He's
goes
also like
running.
6'5". He's gonna hit you before you even get close to him.
Yeah.
So he killed him.
Bye.
And what does Buffy do? She ran.
Did she get thrown out? Because I think she like wakes up outside or something.
Well, she runs out of the cave, and when she's running for her life, she trips and falls.
Wow, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. It's so horror movie. And she ends up hitting her head on a rock. But she like takes off, you know, once he gets killed, she's just like, well, I'm not going to beat him. I am not going to beat him.
This is smart.
And he's firing the blaster at her.
Gotcha.
So she just takes off out of the cave.
I mean,
and
smart.
She trips
it's
and
the
falls.
best that she could have done at that point. It's like,
Why does she trip and fall? Because her coat's two sizes too big, and her hands are not free, and they're all trapped up inside that coat.
So you chose a poor outfit to go patrolling in.
Yep.
Yeah. So we go back. Spike. And he's like, oh, obviously he hasn't done anything. So
but
he's
I
like,
love the moment outside the door.
he's like pumping himself up outside of Giles's.
You don't breathe.
Right.
Why would you be out of breath? You don't breathe.
They do this all the time.
Cute, but
Inaccurate on how your biology works,
Yes.
sir. So he gets in like he's been chased or whatever.
he comes back with some floppy drives, zip drives, maybe. I guess it is 2000, but I feel like they still would have been on a flash drive.
No.
We were still rocking some.
Yeah, I
zip
recall
drives.
still. I recall still having those in 2000. That was the year I graduated from AIP. So I remember. Yeah, that was
rocking the zip drive.
2001. Yeah, yep.
And Willow is rocking.
Tara. No, I mean,
Tara's rocking Willow. Why is it everybody plays with Willow's hair?
I don't know.
You notice that?
Yeah, that's her. That's
Oz
the
like
thing.
pet her hair.
Yeah, maybe that's her spot.
That's her spot. Tara's like playing with the back of her hair, which Spike notices.
Immediately, and he goes. It knows immediately where to go to,
And he gets this devilish little smile, and it's just like, oh, here we go again.
and it's also important to note that Giles is taken heavily to drinking at this point.
Yeah, and it's not like he's having a beer or two. He's like in some bourbon or scotch.
It's like tumblers.
Yeah.
Tumblers of bourbon.
And he's already like the hiccupy. He's like, when am I going to get paid? When Willow tells me you brought me something useful.
He's like, great. You have no authority here at all. So first we gotta wait for Buffy. Now I gotta wait for her. I'm never gonna get paid. He's like, your mates say that you're not so good with the computers anymore. You're not so much into this. And I love you're not the whiz. And she's like,
Whiz. Ever whiz there was.
I love that.
He says that she's into the Wiccan thing now.
What Wiccan thing? I don't know.
Your friend said it.
Something about a phase, and that you're not.
And she's just like, what? Buffy said it was trendy,
Right. I knew they were freaked out. I knew that Buffy was freaked out. And he's like, well, Buffy was defending you. It was Xander that said it was a phase.
Here we go. And he's like, no, pressing pressing business. Let's get back to these discs. Come on, I want to get paid.
So they're encrypted, quote unquote, because apparently I'm assuming that Adam gave him these discs, and so it's Willow is doing her thing, and I think eventually she breaks it, but she's still in a kind of upset and uncomfortable now, and Tara says just talk to your friends.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not what they mean.
Tara's always calling out the truth.
Right.
Even later on.
And people would just talk to
each other. So the initiative is maxed out. All of their containment cells are full.
Oh, yeah.
Shit's been just jumping off left and right. And they're just like, this is weird. Why do we have so many demons? I don't know what to do. The demons are wanting to be, it's like they want to be here.
They're going to tear each other apart. And dude's like, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
I don't want to be here.
He so does not want to be there. So Riley's running around. He's hearing some kerfuffle.
Oh, yes.
On the radio.
Yeah. Oh, my God. There is a killing bud. It's like fucking Nom.
Yes. And he comes into an alley, and like soldiers are getting thrown left and right.
I don't understand what started it.
Angel.
Why, though?
I don't know.
He just showed up and then just immediately on him?
Dude in a long coat? What's this about? You're clearly evil. And he's just like, there's this wonderful confrontational moment where they're just looking at each other, and he's immediately, it's just like, Angel.
Wow. You're good.
Yeah. And all Riley sees is a bunch of bodies.
Right. And Angel.
Tall, dark, and broody.
Glowering. Just like,
looking pretty good, actually.
I mean, yeah, not bad.
He's looking all right.
I do, what I like most about this confrontation, that they're both about the same height. Mm-hmm. And I like the fact that
and they're stalking around, like, you know. It's good camera work.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
I think Angel says something about Riley says we have a friend in common, and then Angel puts two and two together. It's like, oh, you're Riley. Is this your idea of a welcoming party?
Yeah. Did you do this? You know? And he's like, you're supposed to be all peaceable now.
I do really like how Riley's posturing in this
he
fight
steps
scene
to him.
where Angel is concerned. And I'm kind of like rooting for Riley.
Because he's all like, now what would go and make you do something like this?
Then he whips out his little stick.
And even Angel's like, excuse me. Who the fuck do you think you are, sir?
And he calls him boy or something.
We get that you're older, but come on. Y'all the same age. And then they get into it.
Oh, yeah. They go at it.
I think what really starts it all off is like, Angel's like, I got places to be.
Right.
And I'm going to see your girlfriend.
It's like, no, not today.
Not today, you're not.
Not today, Satan.
And he's like, oh, yes, I am. And you're not going to stop me. And
Riley's like, watch me.
And he doesn't.
He doesn't stop him.
He gets his ass kicked.
He does get a little bit beat down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that. And then they get back to Buffy's. Angel gets there first.
Angel gets there first. Right, Buffy comes home. She's all cut up, and she's looking in the mirror, doing that thing everyone always does when they get hurt, where you're just like, "Ow." Well, why'd you touch it?
Well, you know it was kind of
because I wanted.
It's probably throbbing right now.
Yeah,
like you're cut from the head.
She's cut, bleeding from the head.
Maybe you want to get some hydrogen peroxide and a Band-Aid.
And there's a little on her door, and she opens it up. Angel. There's a brief moment. I'm still mad at you.
So why are you here?
Why are you here? Why are you knocking on my door?
Yeah.
Now I saw on the wiki, there's a weird little continuity error here where he needs to be invited into her room.
Did she actually invite him?
I don't remember if she actually invited him or not. I know he makes a mention of it. Let me look, because the problem is Sunday and the vampires did not need to be invited to take everybody's stuff.
Weren't they dead at that point, though?
They had taken them. I don't think they'd necessarily killed them yet.
Gotcha.
Like Eddie.
Oh, yeah, like Eddie.
Yeah. I don't know if they had killed Eddie when they went and took his stuff, or if because she was going to feed on him. So he was at best maybe unconscious, maybe dead.
Right.
But she definitely took Buffy's stuff while she was still alive.
Right. That's right. Okay.
So it's like, well, why does he need invited in?
That's weird.
And she doesn't own that place. So why?
Well, supposedly, I think they talk about this in Angel too. A hotel room, you're taking up occupancy in it, like you've paid for however long. So it's your place.
Okay. So she does. He's like, "Can I come in?" And she actually says, "I guess." And he's like, "No, I need you to."
Yes, that's right.
And she's like, come in.
It's like, I can't be passive aggressive about this. Either I want him in here or I don't.
Yeah. And if you look in the background, you can see Amy's little cage is still in the room.
Poor Amy.
I don't get it. Honestly, logistically, when Willow was doing spells by herself and not able to figure this out. I get that. The minute you met Tara, the two of you couldn't have combined.
Like, I've been having this problem for like 2 years.
Yes.
I need your help.
I need
ASAP.
your help with my friend. She's a fucking rat.
Totally forgot about her.
You guys clasped hands and moved a vending machine across the room. You couldn't figure out how to de-rat Amy. And they don't do it for like 2 more years.
Right. And isn't it accidental?
And it's a random thought.
No, it's not accidental. She does do that accidental thing. But yeah, it's a random thought. Right.
And she's just like, huh. Oh, now I can do it.
Like, she should have been working on that like at least once a week.
Yep. And everything that Amy does to her after that is, you deserve that shit. You left me a rat for 4 years. 4 years. I was a rat. No one told my parents or my dad. My mom's still in the trophy case, but
right. That's poor dad.
Yeah.
So Angel and Buffy are chatting it up, and she's still kind of like, why'd you show up here? You want to tell me? Blah, blah. They're arguing. And then Riley shows up.
Yeah, because she's like, you look a little, what's going on? He was like, I had a little accident on my way here.
Yeah.
And in bursts Riley, gun out, and he's like, I told you weren't going to see her. And she's like, what the fuck?
And he's all shaky and pissed and beat up. And I love it. Angel's like, looks like you can barely stand. He's like, my trigger finger feels fine.
Tiny bit hot, but
he's looking to kill you, sir.
Yeah. And this there's so much testosterone in this room, because she's like, he's not going to hurt anyone, and Angel's like, I might hurt you. And then they like start coming together.
I know, and then
she is just like, stand the fuck down, and pushes both of them very far.
Yeah. I'm a little amused, but yet kind of grossed out when Angel's like, you actually sleep with this guy?
Hey. Let's not talk about your past.
Yeah. Hey, whoa. We're going to talk about Darla for years.
Right? And then something hilarious happens. And every time I watch this episode, it makes me laugh even more. And it's Riley has decided to take a stand. She's like, I need to talk to him for a minute. And he was like, I'm not leaving this room. And she turns around and looks at Angel, and she's just like, come on. And they go out in the hall, and he's like, nope, not moving a muscle.
And then there's even like the look that Angel gives him on his way out.
He's all full arms folded.
I know. And that gets me every time.
Every time. So they're out in the hall, and they're about to have another argument. And
it's still like this whole miscommunication thing, and nobody's really saying what's actually happening. And, he's like, she asked him about, did you come here to beat up my boyfriend? Mm-hmm. And he's like, that was an accident. Oh, an accident is ramming your car into a tree, not your fist in someone's face.
It's so cute, too, the way it diffuses, though. Because she's yelling at him in the hall. And he's like, I was trying to make things better. She's just like.
And then suddenly she doesn't give a fuck that he beat up her boyfriend.
Yeah. She's just like, our lives.
Am I right?
Am I right? I'm just saying. And then there is like this huge and I just imagine him still standing in there with his arms crossed, like
not moving at all.
Not moving. I mean it. With his ear up against the door, like. And he's basically, Angel has come to town to say he's sorry. And it's at this point I'm like, well, this is a wasted fucking crossover.
Absolutely.
This is all it, and this is it. This is basically, he came to say he was sorry, and then he pieces out. He has no further impact on this episode.
No.
That's not even what this episode's about.
No.
Why did this happen?
Even the fight with them, like, it's not like Riley, it was just a vehicle for us to have them fight.
I guess.
I mean, I'm not mad at it, but it's still just kind of useless because it still doesn't really take effect into anything else. Like, they never talk about it again.
Doesn't resolve any of the problems of the episode.
No.
Doesn't help us get to any conclusion in the episode. It's a wasted cameo.
It is. But I do also like when she finally goes back in to talk to Riley, and he starts apologizing, and he's like, when I saw that he had gone evil, and she's like, he's not evil. He's like, that's him on a good day?
There was no leather pants. I mean,
he wasn't smoking.
He wasn't. There was no leather pants, and he wasn't smoking. That's fine. He does offer. He's like, shit looks pretty bad. You sure you don't want me to stay? And she's like, no, fine. I got it. Oh, and Riley? I don't like him. Neither do we. We have been saying it. Ain't I been saying it? I've been saying it for years. And she just, thank you. No, we really don't.
No, seriously.
We don't like him.
You should probably break up with him.
He's not for you. He's so milquetoast.
He needs a nice young lady from Iowa.
A school teacher.
Yes.
Possibly librarian.
Yeah, or kindergarten teacher. That's
But
what-
no, he gets Sam, which works for him too.
Yeah.
She's badass.
I guess,
She's everything Buffy's not.
he gets older and better. Yeah.
So then we go back to Adam and Spike is celebrating. He thinks he has done it. He is sure he's driven a wedge
Right.
between all of them. We love him.
Sometimes he doesn't see the whole picture.
Yeah.
He kind of stops at a certain point. So Adam brings it up to him that, well, how are you going to? What is it he wants to get him? How's he going to get Buffy?
How's she going to get there?
Yeah. Not my problem. Exactly.
I gave Willow the discs. Yeah, but when Willow cracks them, if she's not speaking to Buffy, then
Right.
how's she going to get it?
Damn it! I gotta go.
He's telling Adam the story of the Beatles and how that's where our title comes from. The Yoko Factor.
Helter Skelter.
I can't honestly imagine him sitting around listening to the Beatles. It just cracks me up imagining him having headphones on and like,
It's like, this is an enjoyable piece of music.
yes,
The
this lies.
The way these melodies work together. Thanks, Adam.
So that's his comparison. That's Spike's comparison is that Yoko Ono broke up the Beatles, and that's, it's what we're going for in this episode. Ugh, now we have to deal with more Buffy and Riley. Did they ever have we have Spuffy and
Miley?
just didn't even feel right.
I know,
right?
Ruffy.
Well, we know that Buffy likes it roughy.
Likes it Ruffy.
And then there's a little bit of foreshadowing here. Because Riley has a line where he says, I thought we were really close. I thought we had a good thing going here. I thought we were really close, or at least I thought we were. This is going to become an issue with him
Oh, yeah.
from here on out.
Yeah,
I think this laid the groundwork for the end of their relationship.
probably.
He doesn't really trust that she cares for him as much as she really does.
Right.
And I think it all starts here.
It starts to really work its way in the core.
He gets more and more insecure about it. And by the beginning of season 5, he just flat out thinks that she doesn't love him.
Right. And, yeah.
But in her defense, she has never once given him any indication of that. This is all up here.
Right.
It's all his perception of what
Yeah.
she,
Saying that, he just feels her being distant.
Yeah.
Which, okay.
Buffy's cold.
That's just kind of the way she is.
I mean, unless your body temperature is room temperature. She doesn't respond to humans the same way she responds to cold men. He's not bumpy enough.
If the shit's not life and death, she's not gonna really react accordingly.
And then he gives Angel what might be my favorite nickname, other than Captain Forehead, when he finds out that wasn't him being evil. And he says, Mr. Billowy Coat, King of Pain. That is fantastic. And if Spike had heard it,
Right.
the monologue that would have come from that. Mr. Billowy Coat.
King of Pain. So good. Do the kids get back together now? So, Xander, Buffy, and Willow.
Yeah, after
at Giles's.
after she soothes Riley's male ego and tells him, I do care.
You're good enough. You're smart enough.
Why do you feel like you can't trust me? I love you. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you something.
Oh, yes. Force is kind of dead.
Force is dead. Yeah. Huh? You should have maybe led with the fact that my best friend just died. We wouldn't have done none of this.
Right.
Means anything.
Right. Like maybe as soon as he walked in the door, hey, could you put that down? I got some news.
I know you guys want to fight, but seriously, like, his best friend just died. And I watched it happen. And I didn't do anything. I let it happen. And she's just kind of like, they're there. They're there. But then out of nowhere, he kind of straightens up. And he's like, I have to go.
Yeah.
Just very strangely, immediately gets up and she's just like, what the are you all right? I'm fine. I have to go. And it was odd.
Yeah, it was.
Even to this day, I know what is going on. It's odd.
Yes. So weird.
It's so weird. So then we're back at Giles's and why does Anya get to come along all the time?
I don't know. Giles is shit-faced.
And it's a delight.
He is ripped.
And so nothing. She's not.
Bloody hell.
She's not making any headway with these discs. Buffy's starting to get frustrated and pissed. Xander's just over here in the corner, mad as fuck, not talking to anybody. And everything that everyone says, Giles finds hilarious. Church approved. So they all just start arguing.
Yeah. It's a bunch of bickering and people not really listening and not really saying what should be said.
No, but they're also saying true things.
Right.
Willow's pissed off because Buffy's like, well, I'm just going to go do this on my own. I'm going to go scope it out. And she's like, oh, great. So he can rip your arms off and kill you. And it's like, well,
Just like, oh, I can't be babysitting you guys if I can't, fight, if I got to watch out for you. It's like, whoa, Buffy. Let's just step up off your high horse there for a second.
And Xander and his, I'll just stick around here and put old crusty Alfred in the back gate.
Alfred.
And he's still knocking him back.
Just beautiful little teetering, tattering back there.
So
Giles
great.
in the background. He, at one point, he stumbles upstairs. He's trying to, take a sweater off or something.
Yes. What I love the most in this scene, and I didn't notice it until a couple viewings ago, was the way that Tara almost immediately shuffles out.
Oh, that's right.
And then a couple minutes later, Anya shuffles out. She's very nonchalant. This had nothing to do with me.
I missed that because
Yeah.
I know that we see them in the bathroom hiding.
Watching them, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. So they're doing all this back and forth and bickering and arguing and, saying some truthful things, but also still in their feelings about what Spike said that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just somebody being like, Spike said you did this, you said that, is it true?
Not once is his name even brought up.
No.
Instead, they're just hurt with feelings. Except, I do love the Fort Dix. Like we said, Giles is just being silly. And Xander's butt hurt because they think he's going to join up. So he mentions something about going to Fort Dix. And Giles is just like, hey, Fort Dix.
And Xander just now gets the memo that Willow and Tara are dating.
Bloody hell.
Yes.
Is Giles' reaction from
Yes, and I'm assuming Giles is just now getting this memo as well.
Because Willow is butthurt because Buffy calls it witch stuff.
Yes.
And she gets real butthurt.
It's like witch stuff.
What do you mean witch stuff?
What do you mean, you people? Yes. That's what that is.
Real upset. And then there are Tara and Anya in the bathroom. Nice tile. Oh, yeah. Lovely bathroom. Why? Front door. You went deeper into the apartment. You should just left.
Should have just left, really.
Just leave.
This isn't my thing. I'm just going to meet you back at the dorm.
Head
Your
out.
basement, whatever.
Giles throws his clothes down from the thing. It lands on Xander's head. And they're just arguing.
It's going back and forth. Do they finally get to the point where... No, they don't.
It's 2 against 1.
Yeah, and what I... At one point, I think Willow says, Buffy, you should try to be a little more open-minded about this. And Buffy's like, if I was any more open-minded about the choices you two make, my brain would fall out. Mm-hmm. Buffy?
Excuse me?
Buffy and Summers.
Uh-huh.
If you don't shut the fuck up.
Yep.
What about your choices, lady? Can we,
Your choices got Giles' girlfriend killed.
Exactly.
Your choices almost got your mom killed.
Your choices got your whole friends just terrorized.
At least our choices don't have a body count.
Right.
And Xander's all, you hear how superior she's being?
Yeah, that's her thing. That's
all you got, Xander?
thing.
That's
Really? Thanks, Xander. You were
Please go
really
sit down.
useful in an argument.
Please just go. And after a while, they're both just like, and she's like, no, fuck that. You want to help? You tell me how you're going to help me. Explain to me how you're going to help me. I got the funny drunk upstairs.
It's like, how are we going to defeat Adam? Is the way for you to like attack you two attacking me?
Yeah.
The funny drunk puking on my shoes, or?
And she's like, you know what? I'm done.
And she storms off.
There's a reason they don't talk about Slayers and their friends.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, you know what, little Miss Slayer? You don't really have any right now, so don't worry about it.
At that point, that's when Buffy would have been cut off. Bye, bitch.
Yeah. Bye. And so the plan has worked.
Yeah.
They are torn apart.
But she does not have
She doesn't have the info yet.
Right.
And so we end our episode. We find out why Riley did his weird little thing. It's because he also has a chip.
Dun, dun, dun.
Adam has called for him.
And Riley's like,
Why am I here?
what happened?
And that's it. That's all she wrote.
To be continued.
To be continued.
This is an episode that is to be continued.
And it's my opinion that the next episode is the true season finale.
Ditto.
Because it's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I get chills every time that fight scene.
So
every
good.
time. Yeah. The actual Restless.
Restless is like a bonus episode they threw in because they still had time.
Yeah. That's basically what it is.
Oh, we had to do that many episodes?
I thought damn it. We miscounted.
Who miscounted? You mean we could have had more Spike? Although the Spike we get in Restless is pretty good.
Yeah. That's a good one.
It's pretty good.
So our song is obviously Leonard Skinner.
Obviously.
Freebird, sung by Giles.
Such a good version.
His body is just forest.
Just forced.
Later, dude. But unfortunately, that's not the last time we see him. Bechdel test. I think it does this time with Tara and Willow.
Talking about the cat?
Yeah, as well as Buffy and their rooming and all that stuff. So yeah. And you got some trivia?
Yeah, we mentioned it. Willow has a lovely little "If Ever Was There Was"
There was.
in reference to the Wizard of Oz.
The moral of this story is, how about when you try to clear something up, misunderstandings, speak in full sentences.
Truth.
Actually say the words that you're trying to...
Truth.
Just talk.
Just talk to each other.
Actually talk it out.
Yep. I can't wait to get to the point where they're all like, oh, fuck, we still gotta talk to you. I hate you so much right now, but the world is at stake.
Right.
And I have to talk to you. And that is where we will get into why Spike doesn't think things through.
Dun, dun, dun. So let us know what you thought of the Yoko Factor by giving us a call and leaving a message at 412-385-7250 or recording a very short MP3 file and emailing it to us to revisitingsunnydale@gmail.com. Listen to our other podcast about the TV show Psych called Psych Babblecast.
I know. You know.
Song gets stuck in my head sometimes.
Yeah. Read Marcella's blog. Hello, Marcella.
Hello, Marcella.
For reviews and other stuff. And she also has a Facebook page by the same name. Visit us on our Facebook page. Subscribe, follow, like. Next week is, I never say it right, Primeval. And follow us on Twitter at Back to Sunnydale. Or you can follow me, Camila, at _Rugged Angel.
Or me, mspear7338.
All right. Until next time. And try to speak in full sentences at all points in time. Bye.
Bye.
Grr, arg.